Bapak Ibu, teman-teman PKL mungkin bisa diisi di bangku yang depan terlebih dahulu. Bapak Ibu punten, biar bagus kalau di Zoom dan di fotonya yuk. Ya, bagus, Pak. Izin memulai kegiatan, Bapak. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin our webinar, we would like to invite all participants to listen to the Indonesian National Anthem, Indonesia Raya. We kindly everyone to stand up during the anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Jono Chimida. It's a great honor and pleasure to welcome you to DESAIN Series 7, Dialog, Eksplorasi, Sains, Data, dan Informasi, entitled Digitalogy, toward a human-centered transformation. This webinar is organized by Digital Government Research Group, Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN, under the Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics BRIN. And this webinar is being held today, Wednesday, 22nd of July 2026, in a hybrid format at BRIN KST Samon Samadikun Bandung and online Zoom meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kristanti Permata VDRC, and I'm honored to serve as the host for today's webinar. This morning, we are privileged to have with us our distinguished guest, Professor Dr. Eng Budi Prawara, Chairman of Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics BRIN. Professor Dr. Esa Prakasa, Head of Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN. Our speaker, Professor Jun Sok Kwon from Seoul National University, and our moderator, Mr. Dani Pambudi, PhD, from postdoctoral researcher at Seoul National University, and also junior engineer at Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN, along with all research group coordinator, participant, and distinguished guests join us today's webinar. Before we proceed our first agenda, I would like to inform all participants regarding the webinar's guideline. First, please keep your microphone muted while the speaker is presenting. If you have any question, kindly use the raise hand feature or type your question in the chat box. Participants are kindly change your name into your name _ your affiliation. Participants are encouraged to use the official Zoom virtual background provided for this event. If the Zoom meeting capacity reach its maximum, you may join the webinar live through the BRIN Indonesia YouTube channel. And lastly, please complete the attendance and feedback forms using the link that will be shared in the chat box. Participants who complete the form will be eligible to receive an e-certificate. In addition, we will have 4 lucky participants who will receive special prizes, 2 from online participants and 2 from on-site participants. And the lucky participants will be announced at the end of webinar. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the opening ceremony session. Without further ado, we invite Professor Dr. Eng Budi Prawara, Chairman of Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics BRIN, to deliver his opening remarks. To Prof. Budi, the time is yours.
Ya, terima kasih Mbak Tanti. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning and warm greeting to all of us. 안녕하세요. 저는 부디입니다. 반갑습니다. Distinguished Professor Jang Seok Hwang, Director of Seoul National University Global R&D Center, and our keynote speaker today, Distinguished Professor Dr. Esa Prakasa, Head of Center for Data and Information Science, Distinguished Dr. Anda Andrari, our lead digital government research principal auditor, also our today moderator, Mas Dani Pambudi, ya, and distinguished researchers, colleagues from Research Center for Data and Information Sciences, Digital Government Research Group, and also all of participants who joining us here in Bandung, also participants joining through Zoom, and colleagues following this event through YouTube BRIN Indonesia. First of all, on behalf of the Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics BRIN, I would like to extend a warm welcome and sincere appreciations to Professor Jang Seok Hwang from Seoul National University. We are honored by your presence and grateful for your willingness to share your knowledge and experience with us today. I would like also to welcome all participants to DESAIN 7 Dialog Eksplorasi Sains, Data and Information, organized through the Digital Government Research Group at the Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN. Today's theme is Digitalogy toward a human-centered transformation. This theme is timely, relevant, and closely connected with the direction of our research and innovations agenda. Yeah, as we know, currently digital transformation is no longer a distant idea. It is already shaping how government deliver public services, how cities are managed, how institutions make decisions, how researchers develop knowledge, and how citizens interact with a public system. And artificial intelligence, data analytics, a digital platform, smart city technology, and connected information system are now part of the way we understand, develop, and public governance. However, transformation should not be understood only as the adoption of new technology. The more important question is what kind of society we want to build through that technology. A digital system may be efficient, but it must also be inclusive. A smart city may be data rich, but it must also be responsive to people. Artificial intelligence may support automation, but it must also strengthen human capability, public trust, fairness, and accountability. This is why the phrase human-centered transformation is important. It reminds us that technology should serve people, it improve well-being, strengthen participation, support better public decisions, and create opportunities for citizens, researchers, public institutions, and communities to work together. Digital transformation should not move people to the side. It should bring people to the center. And with BRIN, especially with our research organizations, these issues are highly relevant. Our organizations carries a mandate to advance research and innovation in electronics and informatics, artificial intelligence, data science, digital system, and human-computer interaction. And also, we have also research on the information retrieval, natural language processing, visualization, knowledge engineering, and other related fields. These are not separate from public needs. They are part of the scientific foundation for better digital government, smarter public services, and more responsible digital innovations. The Research Center for Data and Information Sciences has a particularly important role in this agenda. Through the research group of digital government scientific work related to the data-driven public services design, smart city framework, and also human-computer interactions. This topic also align with the challenge faced by Indonesia as we continue to improve public services, support regional development, and strengthen evidence-based policy. For these reasons, today keynote by Professor Junsek is very valuable. Through digitalogy and related concepts such as AI transformations, smart civilization, open innovation, digital UN, and the diamond framework, we are invited to think beyond technology as a tool We are invited to think about technology as part of wider transformation of institutions, skill, collaboration, and public value. And today is also a strategic moment because this webinar is connected with the signing of LOI. Already signed, Paisa? Or not yet? Today? Okay. LOI between Center for Data Science and Informations and Seoul National University Global R&DB Center. R&DB Research and Research and Development Business Center. Okay. The LOI provides an initial framework for exploring collaboration in digital government research, smart city frameworks, data-driven urban management, and digital convergence. It is also open opportunities for knowledge exchange, joint research, disseminations, technology transfer, academic event, joint publication, and other activities agreed upon by both parties. Maybe I would like to inform to you, Prof. Huang. Yeah, BRIN, yeah, connected with our collaborations. So in BRIN, we have some research facilitations, and we facilitate not only for our researchers, but also for external party, like our college in university, industry, and also governments. And yeah, for example, later, yeah, with Dr. Esa and our college, we can establish such as also Center for Collaboration, yeah. I think there is currently not yet for digital government, yeah, digital governments. And also we can provide some facilitation scheme, research funding. We can matching with your university, matching fund for mutual agree topics, yeah, that can discuss later. And also we can provide research mobility schemes. We can send our researchers to your laboratory, for example, for at least, yeah, for 3 months, yeah, under scheme of joint research visit. And also we can invite your senior researchers who already hold the doctoral degree, yeah, to join Prof. Esa and college laboratory here, at least for 1 month in under scheme of visiting researchers. And also, yeah, currently we have also postdoctoral, but in this year we only open for our, I mean, for Indonesian researchers. Yeah, there are some cooperation, several reasons, yeah. For example, on the digital transformations, it requires international learning also. No single institution or country has all the answer. By working with Seoul National University Global Research and Development Business Center, BRIN can strengthen access to comparative knowledge, global experience, and wider research network. Yeah. Yeah, I hope today's discussion will become more than webinar. I hope it becomes a starting point for continued dialogues, concrete collaboration, and share research outputs. Let us this opportunity to ask good questions, to learn from Professor Huang experience, and to identify area where research center for data science and information and SNU GLC can work together in a meaningful and productive way. Before closing my remarks, I would like to express my appreciation to Professor Jun Shek Huang and the Seoul National University Global R&DB Research Center for their openness to collaborate with BRIN. I also thank to Prof. Esa Prakasa, the Digital Government Research Group, the organizing committee and secretariat Humas and all colleagues who have prepared this event. I also thank all on-site and online participation for joining us this morning. This webinar give us new insight, strengthen our research direction, and open a wider path for collaboration between BRIN and Seoul National University. With that, I officially welcome all of you to DESAIN 7 Digitalogy toward a human-centered transformation. I wish us a productive and inspiring discussion. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We would like to express our gratitude to Prof. Budi for the opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite Prof. Budi to kindly present a token of appreciation to our speaker, Prof. Jun Shek Huang. Ladies and gentlemen, now we will have a photo group session. For participants joining online, please activate your camera, and for those on site, kindly gather in front of our meeting room, and our photographer and IT team will assist in taking a picture. Thank you very much. Bapak Ibu yang mengikuti melalui Zoom meeting, mohon untuk dapat menyalakan videonya. Kita akan foto bersama terlebih dahulu. Ada 10 slide Bapak Ibu. Silahkan ke depan yuk. Untuk slide yang pertama, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang kedua, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide selanjutnya, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide selanjutnya, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide selanjutnya, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang ke-6, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang ke-7, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang ke-8, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang ke-9, 1, 2, 3. Untuk slide yang terakhir, 1, 2, 3. Bapak Ibu yang di Zoom mohon menunggu sebentar, kita yang di offline sedang foto bersama terlebih dahulu.
Coba aku tanya dulu Udin ya. Nanti aku WA aku. Jam 1 ya? Ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the main agenda for today's webinar. Before we begin, allow me to present the discussion guideline. Participant may ask question by using the raise hand feature or by submit question through the Zoom chat. Moderator will select participant to be addressed to the speaker.
Oh, Pak, tanya.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker, Professor Junsuk Huang from Seoul National University. Today's session will be moderated by Dr. Dani Pambudi, but before handing over the session, please allow me to briefly introduce our moderator. Dani Pambudi, PhD, is a postdoctoral researcher at Seoul National University and also junior engineer at Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN. He holds PhD degree in engineering, specializing in technology management, economics and policy from Seoul National University, South Korea, along with an integrated major in Smart City Global Convergence from the same university. He earned his master's degree in ICT Technopolicy from Songsil University and a bachelor degree in computer science, as well as an associate degree in computer engineering from Bogor Agricultural University. Professionally, he has been serving as the researcher at Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN since 2021. Previously, he worked as network engineer at the Agency for Assessment and Application of Technology, or BPPT, allowing earlier roles as the help desk technician and data entry officer at Regional Revenue Agency of Bogor, and a teaching assistant in a Department of Computer Engineering at Bogor Agricultural University. And to Pak Dani, you may take the floor.
Check. Thank you for Mbak Tanti as host our session today. So, 안녕하세요, 여러분. Good morning, everyone. So, distinguished Professor Budi Prawara, head of the BRIN, and distinguished Professor Esa Prakasa, head of the Research Centers for Data Information Science, and distinguished Professor Jun Sok Wang, our keynote speakers, and then respected researchers and colleagues from Research Center for Data and Information Science, particularly for the digital government research groups, invited guests, participants here in Bandung, and everyone joining us online. I saw in Zoom already more than 250. Is correct? Okay. And then also in YouTube, right? Yeah. So maybe more than 1,000. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, thank you. So welcome to our webinar. The topic session is about digitalogy toward human-centered transformations. And after this session also, we have the letter of intent signing between the PSD BRIN and Seoul National University Global R&D Centers. Okay, before we begin, allow me to open with the short pantun. Maybe it's kind of similar like in Korea is Sijo, Professor. Sijo. Yeah. So, I will deliver with Indonesian first. So, pergi ke taman di pagi hari, melihat embun di atas ilalang. Mari berdialog hari ini untuk ilmu yang terus berkembang. Once more, it's okay? Ke Bandung pagi membawa bekal, singgah sebentar di tepi taman. Desain hadir membuka akal, menyambut ilmu dan persahabatan. Thank you. So I will continue mainly in English before our speaker also will deliver in English. So before we begin, so for those I have not met, my name is Dani Pambudi. As Mr. Tanti already presents, I'm a researcher at BRIN as well. I just joined on March. And then I also continue the postdoctoral researchers at SNU as well. And then I deliver also as the instructors, and then give the lecture in the Seoul National University Global R&D Centers. So basically, Professor Esa and Professor Budi. So my work is connects digital transformation, smart cities, and international research collaborations under advising Professor Jun Sok Wang. So I think to make the efficient the time before we begin, so I will try to give you some the information about the Professor Jun Sok Wang. So Professor Jung Sok Hwang is a tenured professor in the Technology Management, Economics, and Policy program at the College of Engineering at Seoul National University. And then he received the PhD in Information Science and Telecommunication from the University of Pittsburgh. And then his master degree in telecommunication from the University of Colorado Boulder, and his bachelor degree in mathematics from Yonsei University. So they have so many like awards and then experience, include the commendation from the Korea Minister's Land, Infrastructure and Transport, and also Minister of Education, as well as SME Award for academic research and education. So basically, Professor Hwang is really advanced with the AI and knowledge flows, innovation networks, smart mobility, and sustainable growth. And then the publication records so many like publication article in journals and like high reputation journals. So Professor Hwang also right now is like a full-time professor in Seoul National University and as director and global RMDB Center and director ASEAN Smart City Professional Programs and also director the Smart City Global Convergent Research Group. So I think so many kind of the experience that Professor Hwang already in here. So I think to make the efficiency the time, Professor Hwang, so please continue our patients about the digitalogy topic. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Terima kasih. And also in Sunda hatur nuhun and also in Sasak Tampiasi. So I greatly appreciate. And also everyone also in Sunda Wilu Zoom Enjing yeah Wilu Zoom Enjing. Please, sorry. I will do better. I really greatly appreciate Professor Budi and Professor Esapaka and also Dr. Dani Pambudi and also all BRIN member and also our webinar attendees who are interested in this speech. I'm very glad that I'm in first time in Bandung. For a long time of that we are hoping for, because Bandung has a great people and also your technology innovation actually presented in Indonesia through Bandung. So as an engineer, I've been really hoping for to coming, but for a long time we've been hoping the time. But today, I'm very glad that I'm signing a MOU with our global R&D center and also your BRIN, which is innovation ecosystem builder of Indonesia and also global also representative. So today, I think my also speech is prepared to celebrate actually our meeting and our engagement. The topic share kind of the very important 5 pillars there where we both are interested in as a digital transformation society. At the same time, also I believe this will inspire the new engineers or new scientists or new MZ generations who are here, or the researchers, actually to unite and also to work together to create the changes and also transformation of our society. So I will share with you that my side, and I will probably share with you about an hour about my speech, my talk on digitalogy, and then after like an hour, we'll have with the moderator, we'll have some Q&A with you. So can we have a slide on, please? So the digitalogy is a name I created. I think that's the book I have written since 2010 I think I've been strong inspiration how we describe or react on the digital era, which we represent 21st century. Okay, what makes 21st century compared to 20th century is probably 20th century, we say industrial age. We have a factory, engines, our civilization have been moved by a lot of science technology, but those are used for the industry. Still all those industries are going on, but still something makes 21st century where we are living. And we already have a 25 years or 26 years after millennial. So that means a lot, 1/4 of century. So almost a generation where born boy become a young man. And through this time, we know that we are living in the digital century. And so people call digital era, digital age, digital economy, or digital transformation. So it is not a just idea anymore. It is not a research anymore. It is our real life. But for our real life of humanity as a digital era, do we have an ideology or do we have a thinking system? Do we have a value system that gives us what is digital life about self? So I've been thinking that we need to define human capability in the digital era differently. And that's why we say digitalogy means study of digital. But this study of digital does not mean only about the technology as a digital, all the impact of the digital in every sector, including our humanity, our economics, and politics, and our smart city and AI. But still, we need to make it human-centered. But in order to make us human-centered, then we need to define what human is, right? I mean, we describe human different from other creature. Probably human has a complex languages, but still other creature had their own languages, right? Human has a complex languages, but the others has two. And then other than languages or which language actually create a lot of our civilization, first the knowledge, but what are the other thing? Maybe human has just hands, right? And with that hand, our fingers, digits, actually allow us to create the skill and technology. Stone Age, Steel Age. So human has been using a capability of tool or fire or energy that describe the human Homo sapiens. Even before that, our human ancestors have been using the technology from the beginning of the civilization. I believe technology should not be something after the industry. No. Human actually, from the beginning, we would be able to use a stone in very different way to play it, right? Or to build a house, right? So our idea actually comes from the United these technology defined. So I want to actually, see then the technology is very important in digital era, and how we then create this technology in very different form through the digital in the 21st century. That is my talk today. Yeah. Next, please. Yeah, I think we can skip that. If you just type my in Google or YouTube, you would be able to find me. ChatGPT will give a very good explanation about me. Okay, so Junseok Hwang and Professor. But my writing name is Joseph Onda, Joseph P. Onda. Those are my writer's name, like when I write poem or the books, also the close people I call Joseph P. Onda. So onda means coming, but also in Italian, it's a wave. And also all the new digital analog. Okay, onda. And then, but Joseph is my also like a holy name that given from the bone from my father and mother. And my mother always called me Joseph P. So Joseph P. It's a calling of Joseph. So Joseph P. So that is my name. So someone say, "Oh, Joseph P. Onda," and that is me. So today I'm gonna give you the 5 pillars which represent our like a transformation in this age. So AI is, everyone now, I don't need to explain what AI is. I think the machine learning, natural language processing, a lot of algorithm we studied very recently developed because of the computing power supported well, and also large language model and also generative AI have been actually giving us the very high speed diffusion of AI. So even AI is now, I believe, faster than internet. In order for the people to adopt internet, the infrastructure should be there, right? But now everyone has a smartphone, and even AI can be used by smartphone. So now the potential impact of AI is more than what we expected. We are already in the middle of AI transformation. Then we need to actually characterize that, and then what AI is. Is it a technology? Is it a language? It is what we need to deal with, or it is extension of human capability or not. So that is one thing I want to actually, touch, the first pillar. The second pillar is smart civilization. Many of you heard about smart city, right? But I try to make smart city as a real city for our life, okay? Not just building, not just road, not just transportation, not just environment. We are experiencing those things at once at this moment. I'm experiencing my air quality inside the brain, right? And sanitary of your, which is much cleaner than any other building. So, which show the spirit of the new civilization here. And also the use of the technology in a lot of businesses. So it's more than city development of the civil engineering. But in the beginning, the smart city has been promoted by a lot of governor and politicians and mayor, international organization as a hardware development. Yeah. So that has been for last 25 years. And we know that how to use the technology in hardware. I know the city should be built. But in real practice, how many cities really now we can call smart? Does our citizens of Bandung call ourselves my city smart city or not? I believe smart is a subjective concept. You cannot compare the smart of Lombok with smart of Bandung. No. Bandung can be smarter than the older Bandung. Or Korea can be smarter or smart city than 20th century of Korea. So then there should be self-quality examination needed. In order to do that, we need to look at ourselves, the civilization. Civilization is used to compare different community, ethnic group of nation. Then actually one is under civilized and the other is a bad word. And under the civilization, a lot of colonialism has been justified in that before 20th century. But if we use the civilization in our self-reflection, transformation, I don't believe transformation can happen, if it is not voluntary internal self-reflection. Transformation is similar to having converting to the religion. I believe internal power of, I believe the MZ generation or 21st century people who are living in this age deserve to create a new identity, new internal identity. Why? I think new creation, innovation, fresh and become better, it's a good thing. So I think we humanity, as a kind of holy creature of the living nature, I think we need to think that very aggressively, importantly, in this age of 21st century. So we have a 75 years left until 2100. I think those times are lived by all these young people. Many of you will probably face 2100. By that time, definitely we should show that the living place we are is smart and civilized compared to 2000. And what I think that is our goal. So I'd like to share with you my philosophy and also scientific journey of what I do with smart city and smart civilization. Like a BRIN, innovation is very important. I realize open innovation is very important. Like a knowledge. Knowledge is if you know and don't use it, nothing. If you know, if you don't teach other, don't share, nothing. Right? But innovation has the same thing. If innovation cannot change other or innovation cannot be shared, this is sometimes very harmful or sometimes also create inequality, and also the innovation can be used in wrong way. So for that reason, that human, when it open and transparent, human has a morality and social system that we can make it better. So the technology innovation don't go for the like a military weapon too much, right? And under-civilized and destroy technology, drone has a lot of great use than the using as a weapon in the military field. But we use more drone on the warfare than our civil society. I think I feel very worrisome that a lot of new technology are now experimented in the war field, not in our real society. I don't believe that, generation wave shouldn't be. You know what? World War II also experimented, World War I experiment a lot of engines and, and automotive. That's how Germany and a lot of those were involved country has been developing automotive engineering, right? But by creating a lot of people killed. If we believe that technology can be tested through that kind of environment where no regulation, right? Then I think our future generation should have a war in order to make a use of innovation. I don't think that is right direction. So to avoid such kind of situation that our innovation is tested or become stronger, probably I think our open innovation is important. I believe the BRIN is doing that. Right? And then I'd like to also share with you, for such a reason that UN also has been created more than 50 years, but we have a problem of that uniting and keeping the peace in the world. I believe there should be some different action what we can do. So in the time of digital age of digitalogy, I believe in the 21st century, we need to introduce new way of uniting the nation, which I believe digital UN. Finally, I'm going to actually introduce you the fifth pillar, which I'm currently doing, as we call DIAMOND. This is Institutional Membership Network or Digital Innovation Alliance for Millennial Open National Development. So I'm going to actually give you the name of the new invitation for the digital UN, which is called DIAMOND, and then I will share with you more. Okay, next, please. So AI transformation, the next, please. So next, please. Yeah, I'd like to, have a kind of your contrast about, now, sand and diamond. Diamond is considered to be more precious or more valuable when we would not be able to make it artificially. At the same time, sand is also very important, have a higher quality of sand if we cannot make it from the nature, right? But both of them now in a stage that artificial or artificially human can make it, with a lot of technology science what we have. What makes sand and diamond actually in more valuable than before is we would be able to control the quality with the technology, and we can make it because diamond is also very still useful as one of the strongest stone. So we have a lot of use of it, but we can use it with the carbon and a lot of material by science. But I think that we need to think that when we come to the point differentiated from virtual, a lot of young generation and people think when we say artificial, it is not real. No, artificial is real. Artificial in original language of science is good. Use the same time, same for the same way diamond. Because it is very difficult for us to choose and find those before. So, our control and extension of our human skill was limited. But by the technology, our imagination of using sand in different color, there is a pink sand, not just, color by the other paint. Pink sand naturally, artificially made. And those are actually
Shit.
Then there's a big potential that it's okay. There's a big potential that we increase inequality. So hope that the AI adoption should be spread it in a proper way. So the AI of individual spreading is faster than social transformation. The problem of it, if society is not ready for it, it's just like a virus. Individual people are adopting it, but without preparation. But if it is actually then, but sometimes the good use of AI cannot be managed. So in that way, that our organization and also education, research, and social system should be ready to adopt AI into the artificial way. What is artificial way? The benefit to humanity. So creating the value of state of art through the intelligence. That is what I'm talking about. Next, please. So from the point of the, I want to actually create a philosophical idea that like a definition of information and knowledge has been created by the Aristotle in the philosophical foundation. But humans are still affected a lot by the information and also intelligence. So why we need to look at the AI very carefully is very strong connection to the cognitive and intelligent capability of humanity. For example, if we would be able to get a result of some knowledge into the higher level of outcome easily without reading it, right? And that report and every outcome looks great, right? But I think the process of that 1 hour or 10 hours of reading, my train and your train has been trained. And the complex set of information can be processed our brain, and our brains, our muscles and nerve system has been trained to the resilience. How many of us actually can control or do the memory, of your smartphone that you have as a phone number? Now, because of the smartphone, many of us do not remember. We don't use about that, memory capability. But if our function of the memory is not improved, your intelligence will not be improved. If you have a more memory to store, and then you can retrieve it higher and combine it, that is intelligence. And creativity comes from the intelligence. We need to look at ourselves, whether our society intelligence enough or not. I see a lot of learning capability has been decreased because of use of the technology. But it is a great danger at some moment. It will be like people who are just, using these, but do not know the meaning of it. So that kind of thing that we need to think very, seriously. Now react on the AI as a civilization. Next, please. So let me move on to the second pillar of the smart city civilization. I've been doing a smart city as a graduate program in Seoul National University. Which program was not major before, but there's a great need of the talents or the education needed. And so for the smart civilization, we create also smart city major, which also Dr. Dani also majored. So I'm going to talk to you about smart civilization. Next, please. So why we need to take care of the city or the civilization? Because almost 90%, and also with AI and internet or digital age, everyone will be under the city impact and civilization. So the civilization and city will not be defined by the physical location or geographical location. That city and civilization, the impact of the city will be defined by the citizens' capability. Maybe we experienced COVID, and COVID actually showed that we can work in different modes, right? Through online. And also that actually shows that when we actually transform to the new society, definitely you don't need to come to Jakarta, Bandung, but still do your research and education, even knowledge work. Why? Physical AI and robotics and all the physical react on the real thing will be done a lot by our technology, and human does not need to be involved in all the physical interface. What it means, human has the more freedom to manage our location where we live and where we work. So in that way, we need to take up city and civilization in different aspects. But anyway, the number of people in city and on the civilization will be more. And so the smart city and smart civilization is the issue of all human population. Yeah. Next, please. So, well, I think when we ask some people about what is smart city, a lot of people describe it technology. Yeah, but we cannot ignore the probably perception and aspects or perspective of the technology in the smart city, but that's not all. As I told you, that the smart concept is not only by the technology. It is by our social system. It is by our education. It is by our, like our citizenship. Let's say our Bandung is smart. Then how much of our citizenship smarter than 10 years ago of our Bandung citizenship? How can we measure ourselves, right? Economic level or education level? Or how much of our Bandung is better than 5 years ago? Maybe our the old generation senior professors knows, but how much of our smart environment is better than 25 years ago? And are we smarter or not? Yes, we use a lot of technology, but the quality of our environment, quality of our water, quality of our people, quality of social system, is it better? I'm asking as a self-reflection. I ask same thing to Korea, of my city and my university. If there's not that much fundamental changes and that human-centric has not been, let me ask you, if we are the smart city, our human rights or humanity capability is higher. I mean, 25 years we have been exposed to the smart civilization. Is our equality, did we reduce our economic level? The young people can buy the house by working 5 years or 10 years, which I used to do. Young generation, if not, maybe we need to think all these economy very seriously. Definitely we should use innovation system education, but I think, we really need to look at more than just technology. That's what I mean by the human-centric. Next, please. So, from my point of view, the citizenship or civilization cannot be done without good education. Because I'm educated, I can speak. Because I'm educated, also internationally, I can speak English. Because I'm educated, I can have a job and I can do the role in the society. Because I'm educated, then I know what citizenship is. We are questioning ourselves and also our identity, our capability by the education. If this education is not smart enough, going into the right essence of the, finding human talent, then the education is not in the right way. So to maximize the human talent and human capability, we need a still education. The cities cannot be built without education. But if there's no smart citizenship, without good citizenship, how we can say smart city? Only government can be smart, that without citizenship smarter? I don't understand. I don't understand democracy there. If we're going to claim the smart city because the citizenship is smart, then it's a democracy. But if we declaim the smart city because of the smart government or e-government or strong government, it's not a democracy, and also it's not smart. It's a dictatorship. But a lot of, these smart word was being used by the business or politician leadership group, but without the importance of education or citizenship or R&D. So in order to make that smart city concept based on civilization, to make a civilization, we need some other, I say, research and development and business. So to create the smart city into the civilization impact, to change our quality of life, we need to strengthen human capability in terms of the research and development. Research and development is closely tied to the creativity and talents of humanity. Is that creativity, not just skill set or experts of trainee or routine job. We are trained to use only one machine, those are not engineers. It used to be engineer. How to use this machine was defining you as a computer engineer, mechanical engineer, but not anymore. Without character, if you cannot make it, if you cannot change it, you are not engineer. So we need to have that R&D capability. For that reason, the Global R&D Center or BRIN or this kind of innovation institute organization very important. So from that point, to take the smart city into the smart civilization, we need the innovation system that will connect a lot of stakeholders, public, private, and also people, and to be also connected through the collaboration. And so civilization is a global civilization. Next, please. Yeah. So I'm coming. This actually slide's been present in all around the world. Before I come here, also, I think a few months ago, I've been in Greece and Turkey, and also Denmark, and showing all these. We need some part of our leadership to share with others. Definitely, Korea use a lot of digital technology in. Maybe Korea doesn't have that high inventive startup like America, but at least our citizenship technological democracy is higher than America, any part of the Europe. Why? We use just normal people that use high level of technology. So technological innovation democracy has been universalized in Korea that strengthen. Our young people become very talented at using technology, and you can be well known to the internet, everything. So we maximize citizenship's capability by strengthening this technology accessibility. How many of our government and our society are encouraging that? I think this one requires ongoing, very, and also continuous investment. I believe a lot of city and nation, they say we have a technology, but that doesn't mean all of us have a technology. Okay? You need to universalize that everyone actually can use it, experiment. So smart city created a lot of R&D, and a lot of these R&D need to be exposed as through the living lab and as create the use of it. Greece and Turkey are in the middle of the Europe and Asia. They created a lot of collaboration and sustainability, a lot of social and global issues actually they provide. And also at the same time, Denmark and these areas are green and sustainable and renewable energy. They actually have frontier because their ecosystem have been leading that. There are a lot of usage. I went to Denmark and we use a lot of car, and I see a lot of bicycle, not motorcycle, not car. I mean, they ride a bicycle. They also don't go for just easy or the good brand of bicycle. No. Your philosophical level of sustainability is reside in your life. Right? These are all commercially influenced. A lot of technology. We need to really think that what is sustainability. I think a lot of country and society has their own unique leadership advancement. I believe, why I'm actually, emphasizing the global collaboration, because all of us invested into different sector. I believe, that will create a lot of synergy. Next, please. So let me move on to the open innovation, which many of you know well. So the open innovation should be seen not as a just company or institution. Now we should move on to the national level or, any organization. For example, university degree should not be only offered by the degree from by that institution. The degree of the research or mastership or graduate or, the research should be able to be given by any innovative institution. For that reason, why? When you open, you have a more innovation happening and more idea come. So in practice, a lot of university do the collaboration with the industry, even government agency. Then why only university only hold the giving or issuing the degree? So that kind of thing. I mean, How many nationality are you willing to have in the world when you become 60? More better. Your work and talent, identity are respected in many nations, and you don't need to be kind of considered to be other or discriminating. But your tax actually give a benefit to every. Then what you pay. Then you have more freedom to decide where to live and where to work. I believe this kind of freedom need to be given. Why? Our religion and higher level our ideology has been always pursuing us. I hope you think about our Islam, Hinduism, have been pursuing us that we humans are all same under God, under nature. I believe that kind of strengthening humanity and having that human to across the boundary of nation is very important. But are we exercising such spirit of open innovation in our real life? I believe our modern society of industrialization have been structured that we are still bounded by our capability, by the national identity, or some other negation. If you go to the dictatorial or communist country, you even cannot move to other city without the permission. So these, but from my point of view, in digital 21st century, we have many MZ generation. Okay, my children's first one is 30 years old, 30 years old, so your generation. We are better, and we give a higher trust, but that freedom will bring you and strengthen to maximize your capability and to see the potential. Talent of humanity is more valuable when it was not discovered or not defined, because talent is showing the potential, and that potential is like a miracle. So that is a potential of open innovation. And I believe we need to think about very seriously about open innovation. Next, please. So, but from my point of view, Indonesia, making your, all island, with diversity, you're very open innovation, compared to others. I think open innovation can be represented well by Indonesia. By all the, I know all the island used to have a different languages. Now we are united with one Bahasa, right? And I also, by the culture and history, we Indonesian people know the value of open and harmony. So the reason why the Seoul or Korea try to, maybe cooperate with Indonesia, Korea can learn from Indonesian innovation system or BRIN on more open innovation than Korea itself. Yes, Korea is very strategic, right? And very effective, but still closed society compared to Indonesia. Okay? Openness and diversity, and also probably make a challenges of that one. Indonesia is younger than Korea. I think in that regard, that Korea or Indonesia or GRC or BRIN, we cooperate, definitely your, like a capability of open innovation can strengthen. Think about that in this webinar, you already opened the 300 people in a short notice. How great that you have a large impact of bringing people. In Korea, having 50 people online is not that easy. Everyone is working on their own, and they do not have an eye to work on another. But if your time is all reserved by your own task, how much time that you can spend yourself for others, or how much time you spend for your future? If you are closed, you don't have a freedom. If you are closed, you are short in time and living short. At the same time, if you are closed, that your world is very narrow. I believe, this kind of open innovation is very important. In that regard, institutions like a BRIN or GRC in Korea or in the world, very important. I'm glad to come to have this the MOU with the institution. I believe, we will create a lot of synergy with each other. Next, please. So how many of our cities are open? How much of the, for example, we have to look at, I know BRIN is very open. Yeah. But we need to have a BRIN to make our cities, right? To open as much. How much of our government or city municipality are open? If it's still a lot of bureaucracy, if it's still a lot of corruption, I believe we need to make it open. That's our level of the citizenship, our level of morality. If we know that, don't blame it, but we need to make it open. So by the system, gradually, and such openness naturally will improve the quality of our standard. I think in such time, our MZ generation, young people, will be happy about our leadership. That's the way. Opening our society to the young, so that young or the citizen can be involved and know the data, and they have a power also, right? And to do the thing, if we are open, then naturally these changes come. But if we are closed and the power and management and control over the information is closed, then I think the other young older group cannot cooperate. So for the social sustainability, open innovation very important. But globally also this open innovation create great balance of the national inequality, which creates a war. So I believe we need to also look for the open innovation in global perspective. So I actually emphasize the innovation system, integrated innovation system called generative innovation system. Generative innovation system represent GNR, global, national, and regional. These innovation systems need to be integrated and pursued by the human-centric open innovation. By doing so, we create the cluster, we create the project, and then generally our people belongs to several nationalities, several organizations. That's what for example, Dr. Danny has an identity of Korean and Korean SNU faculty, definitely he is same treated as the same Korean. At the same time, he still can play, right, in you also, the researcher or leader, right? And then into the sector of AI and also data transformation. So such kind of capability, we should be able to have all Indonesian or global young generation act globally, like a K-pop star or a lot of that. I believe in a young researcher here, I hope you aim for that your idea will be changing, not just only here in the world. Then you need to see the problem, what they have, right? Maybe your idea of use of here can be used in very different way. IoT. Yep. Next, please. So by doing such kind of open innovation, I believe there are a lot of global collaboration going on, Greece, Turkey, and Korea, Denmark, Sweden. That's why I'm coming here to create open innovation. Yeah, next, please. I'm not gonna, have all the presentation. So next, please. Yeah, next, please. So this one shows that, this one represent like a innovation system as an ecosystem, city and citizens, public platform, digital platform, and knowledge exchange. In the, we should be able to associate in the global level of the public sector, private sector, civil society, academia. I believe innovation organizations like the BRIN or university plays very important role. We call the community of practice. If we need a community which will do the practice for the smart civilization or open innovation, in the beginning you need a team that who will do pilot or the beginning a task force. So selecting the most brilliant and brave and frontier people first create the model of this innovation system. That's what I'm aiming for through the MOU to build a project with you and through our MOU. Next, please. Next, please. Not turning. Yeah. So, well, many of you heard about convergence, right? Digital convergence, right? So digital convergence actually has been created in 20th century when we move toward to the 21st century with a lot of digitalization, internet, right? And all the platform now become kind of just bit or data, so that the way that we use the smartphone, the internet provider provide the broadcasting. These used to be all different industry. Broadcasting was not done by telecommunication. Now we have a YouTube, and these are all because of the convergence. But not just only just combining, creating that platform, but we need a transformation-oriented innovation. So convergence create a lot of opportunity where we can cooperate together well. But I think we need to create that cooperation into the aim that what is transformative goal that actually we need. So as a global society, we need to create our transformative orientation innovation, which we believe in a special training, which we believe is special project, which we believe is a special level of the citizenship. How many of us believe that I create my own citizenship, which can be a great model of our society? That is needed. We need to have the eyes of God, see that how I do well on our life. I think AI, I sometimes talk to people, what is AI? AI is the mirror of the humanity. That mirror sometimes shows very bad part of me, ugly part of me. That mirror shows the great part of mine. But still I need a mirror. If I want to see, right? If I want to control, we need a reflection. Using AI for research or preparation is like a prayer. Having like a 5 times of prayer, these kind of 5 times of creative thinking or reflecting myself and see and how I create and solve the problem. We should not just only obey, but the obedience turning into the changes of society for someone else. Then I'm good for the society. Yeah. We call the holiness if that is good to human or for the society. And if we call some of those are not holy because that is unhealthy or dirty or create some problem, we need to create those unholy things to the holy thing by our invention. I think that's the whole concept about the transformation. Next, please. So now I want to, say, I already talked to you smart of practice. I have my own community of practice in our GRC and our, the Smart City Global Convergence. So in the world, I've been giving a scholarship for 900 scholars, master and PhD on this digital transformation for last 25 years. And those people are now in 90 countries. Almost, if I have more than 20 or more, almost major countries are all covered. So I believe, we need to have another united community of practice where our young generation, MZ, Alpha generation, can benefit from 21st century of digitalization. That's the true aim. If we don't use digital in a good way, everything will be chaos. How many of us are suffering from the email that is not related to you? How many times of our time should spend us to select my email? This is information flood. When there are too much information flood, in the beginning you check, but at some moment you decide not to think, just flow. Here are the danger. When there's too much abundance, then in the beginning we use it, but at some time we don't use practice of intelligence. That's why we need to probably create community practice that our intelligence still can be improved as a human. Still humans, the capability can be extended if we keep our intelligence level higher than our old generation. Okay? That's the thing, that mission that we have. Definitely our brain, or GRC, our innovation organization has a mission. We need to create a kind of wave and system that make our humanity and society intelligent, more intelligent than older generation. Am I right? I mean, that is very important. Next, please. So, why I am talking about digital UN is we have a lot of common mission that was still not solved by global society. Did UN create our climate change problem to be solved or better way? I don't believe it get better. Did UN bring the peace to our new generation without the war? I mean, UN was created, proposed by the victory or win countries with the permanent secretary at the time, World War II, and they promised that we are going to create UN, then not to have any war anymore. Does UN stop the war? No function. It's a new colonial system by the military power and economic power. But is it truly united? I want to question ourselves. I mean, young generation, do we want to work for UN still? My dream is also working for UN because I want to contribute to the humanity and global. But the problem is we have still a lot of problem has not been solved. Then we really need to think that this UN need to be reformed. At the same time, our unity of humanity and nationality should be transformatively changed so that we can deal with the problem that commonly. Still, one nation cannot solve a lot of problem what we have, humanity has. Okay, so environmental problem, and energy problem, and social problem. These no one nation can solve these problems by themselves. That's why we need a unity. Okay, next, please. So our hope is by creating new unity, we still need action for the climate coordination, digital divide, and governance fragmentation. Still, we struggle a lot of political fragmentation of the society, isn't it? I don't know. Korea, we're very fragmented. You know, some parties support, some parties support. People are all divided. I don't know here. But I think in the world, I see, in the United States, Europe, everywhere, not many people like the culture of politics because of that. Yeah? But still, we don't have a solution yet. So in order to create a new governance and new political culture, new leadership culture, we need to work together. I believe this digital UN will create the opportunity to the young generation and junior generation to act actively to transform our society into the way in their morality. Our moral standard need to be changed. The old way of morality still has a lot of moral hazard. But once you don't question about morality, it's what we call moral hazard. But still human has a capability that what is good or wrong decision. We still need to make a choice of goodness for the humanity. I think is what we need to work together. Next, please. So I've been actually talking to a lot of global society that current order would not be able to solve the problem to coordinate. That's why I think some of our relationship is kind of part of this collaboration. Once it becomes really, really global, definitely, digital UN environment. Digital UN is nothing if you don't have a member. If that digital UN is nothing if you don't have a you're capable of leading the people. We are expecting a great new digital leadership in digital era. We need to identify who are the digital leader of our society, and they also need to represent our society to create our new leadership of UN. That's why I believe still we need a digital UN, because current UN cannot create the order for the digital economy and digital society, especially for our young generation. So in order to probably provide the right order or right environment for our young generation, this society need to probably react it and then let them to work and study and also play in the global society. Next, please. So in order to kind of exercise that digital UN, I've been receiving also scholarship from our Korean government, and still I'm running this like a global digital transformation leadership the program, which is scholarship program for best and PhD in the world. It is not only emerging economy, all the digital leader, including America, Europe, and so we don't have a boundary of any nation, but we have a probably want to create a platform where we select. I hope BRIN creates such kind of research degree so that we strengthen the more people or digital leader coming and joining, and they create a community of practice of digital UN through our diamond. So we are planning to have our Diamond Club conference this year in Lombok, Mataram, and with co-hosted with the Mandalika International Conference of System Engineering. So we hold the first conference in Korea, which you see in 24, and last year we hold this conference in Ethiopia, okay, with the cooperation of the Addis Ababa Science Technology University and a lot of government institute there. So this year, to represent ASEAN community, we are holding this conference in November. Dr. Dani will also share the link. I invite a lot of BRIN faculty members or researchers, those either online or offline, because Lombok is another very beautiful. And so hope we create kind of another synergy doing this Diamond Club Symposia together in Indonesia this year. So I greatly appreciate, terima kasih. I think that this is the end of my presentation. You can move on to the next slide. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think there's terima kasih, right? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Professor Wang. Please give applause. Yeah, again, thank you very much, Professor Wang, for that comprehensive and insightful presentations. Okay, before we move on to our discussion part, so for those of you who didn't follow us from the beginning, maybe I tried to highlight the 5 messages that Professor Wang already present. So first is about the transformations is really important, and then improvement, which means doing differently and redesigning how people experience institutions, work, learning, and daily life. And second, Professor Wang also already mentioned about the AI offers the enormous value, but the skills, organizational readiness, measurement, and governance is determined whether that value becomes real and broadly shared. And then number 3 is smart city is not defined only by sensors. Data, efficiency, or platform is must strengthen well-being, inclusion, participation, and trust. And then the people must be transformed through the educations that Professor already mentioned, and citizenship alongside the system around them. And then 4th is about the innovations. Innovation is must move beyond the isolated project. It needs the connected institution, shared capabilities, open collaborations, and implementation at scale. And then finally, Professor already presented as well about the today's challenges about the transnational, about the climate, connectivity, and digital governance is require a new coordination logic that is the city connected, citizens aware, digitally network, and oriented toward transformations. Okay, so Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the approximately around how many minutes? The 1 hour? 2 hours? Okay. 15 minutes discussions part. So you can ask either questions, comment, or discussions. So I would like to open discussion for participant in here in Bandung, and then the online, either Zoom or the YouTube's. And then for those of you in the room, please raise your hand. And then when you receive the microphone, kindly state your name, affiliations, and then ask your questions. So please, I will try to open now for this room first. Do you have questions, comment, and feedback? Okay. Dr. Muradi, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Danny, for your chance. So just, I am Hengki Muradi. I am young researcher at the Center for Data Science and Information at BRIN. The first, we greatly appreciate to Professor Huang for the attending to this scientific forum. And first, I want to say your country is very famous in our country, Indonesia, especially maybe Lee Jong-suk is very famous in Indonesia. In my question, in your presentation, earlier you mentioned that the concept of smart city is somewhat subjective. And my question is, what criteria can be used to establish the minimum standard for determining whether a city is or smart? In other words, what the criteria can be used to determine that a city has reached the level of the smart city? And the second question, about research, what research areas are currently most important for supporting smart cities, especially in developing countries like Indonesia? And the last question is very important. And regarding that, are there any potential postdoctoral position in smart city in SNU Korea? Thank you.
The opportunity there for the postdoc.
Opportunity of the postdoctoral. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your so very effective and important question. So the first question, I understand, for the smart city or smart civilization, you need to be able to define, right, criteria, right? How good you are for the smart city. Yeah, I will probably, there are a lot of pillars but from the point of the city or society, first thing is digitalization of your information and infrastructure. You don't have a way to collect the data or your daily living. Without data, you cannot make it smart. There's no data, no AI. For the same reason, how many about you are now collecting your data about yourself? Your body biorhythm, or what I'm talking to you, or recording, or how much of information on your life are reflected by the support of infrastructure or the service, organization, or culture, right? And even government. So I see a lot of smart city initiative pilot without making your society ready for the digital or data into all public. I believe, without digitizing your information the way, if we're still just using old sign, that's just then cannot. For example, I don't know, maybe BRIN do now all the decision or signed by electronic, maybe that, right? So like that in our daily life, a lot of data collection. So that is one thing. But in order, how much the data or digitalization actually have been your society coming to is very important index. The second one is when it comes to that point, supporting regulation and organization. If you don't have in society or governance, right, has organization to deal with this smartization, then no one will be in charge to create that synergy, right? So yeah, we now have a CIO, right? Before there's no CIO level in many organizations, but now Chief Information Officer is important. But more than that, for this digitalization, organization reform toward smartization, still the organization need to be structured differently. That reform cannot be done by one. For that reason, the leadership is very important. For the BRIN, the highest leadership would manage the organization, very important for the smartization, right? For the city, the late mayor, and also the government group, very important because of the plan. So how much the regulation and also organization reform for the digitization and smart city is very important. Without that, no movement. Okay, they have money, they do it. But once the support, the development money from the federal cut, they don't do. Yeah. So no, I think these kind of inner culture of the capability, so is a people and culture. It should be. Everyone wants to have it. Oh, we need. Why? Just top down doesn't work. I keep all the code. It's for my AI. Either I write all my diary because I know that I can create the film with that. If you forget everything, nothing. If you forget what you created yesterday, you cannot make the AI out. But whatever at that time it was not useful. But if you have that record, someday some of those can be used, right? To create real thing. I think reality of the peoples and culture to use these one is very important. How to encourage this one is very important. So I believe this is not, it's similar to education. Can we have our children to study? Just you have to do study or smart education? No, it's themselves. I become a PhD because I want to study. My father never asked me to study more. Yeah, I want to study. Same thing. Someone can get smarter, then same thing. This one is, that our individual transformation from internal. But that is like a spirit. Who make a decision about your religion? Yourself, right? You convert and you sell. Such kind of inner fact of doing this one is not easy. But without that, no. But that's why I do the research, I educate, I actually give them opportunity to them, right? So education plays a very important, research plays very important to inspire the people's motivation to create and change. I believe that we need to generalize and universalize it so that every citizen of Indonesia or Korea, they were kind of fire the inspiration to do these things. Yeah? So without doing it, at some moment you will realize that you are not the leader of the new society. This is the society that if you don't transform yourself, after 10 years, you will become a lower person than who voluntarily. Definitely, I think this change is happening now. Thank you. And so the second one for the research for Indonesia, yeah, I mean that you start the research where you are strong. I say open innovation, right? You start the research in that open innovation, global innovation platform. Let Indonesia become a platform where a lot of global R&D test bed come. Then naturally, a lot of researchers of Indonesia will be involved in it, right? So you don't need to identify every sector because it is everywhere. And Indonesia need to deal with a lot of all those. But still create our identity that open innovation is a strength of Indonesia, then create the open innovation culture. What is the brand of Indonesia? I mean, for Korea, digital, okay? We aimed at 2000. Now, if someone say Korea, what is advanced in Korea? Digital, right? So, but it took 25 years for Korea to build. But when you ask same question in 2000 to everyone, no one say Korea, Silicon Valley. Okay? So it took 20 years or more. Now, Korean young generation very proud that with this K-Digital. In the same way, how can we make Indonesian young generation in after 25 years to be proud of our Indonesian brand? You know, like these days, let's say K-pop or K. How can we make I plus? I think that innovation, open innovation, right? That is a very unique identity of Indonesia. Open innovation practicing is not easy. Think about it. How many real ways doing open innovation? Opening your heart, open innovation without corruption, transparency, and smart. Most of the smart people are very, in 20th century, selfish. And also, they try to create the higher powerful intelligence that was competitive kind of culture. But in open innovation, competition is not competition is not the way of the culture, doesn't provide you benefit. If you try to compete, you already fail. You need to create and open, collaborate, because we have AI. So I believe, maybe that creating, strategy creating the BRIN Indonesia, and this would be different for other countries, but for Indonesia. And definitely postdoctoral or a lot of, we try to create the research degree with BRIN and Indonesian institution. So we are very open and we are planning to actually create that kind of opportunity in a very near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Wang. So, Dr. Mordi is clear? Okay, thank you. So others, so we still have time. If you have the questions, comment or feedback, please.
Maybe on the Zoom there is a question.
Okay, if no one here, I will open now for the Zoom participants. Okay, so please raise your hand if you want to speak directly to the professors.
Hello.
Okay.
Good morning.
Because please. Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Henricus from Jogja. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you well. So go ahead.
Okay. According to your experience, do you believe that algorithm and AI will become new god for our human civilization? Because there are many community in this world, especially in Europe, they replace traditional god with AI. How do you say about this phenomena? And second question, according to your experience, talking about digital life, whether digital life will make it more civilized or even less civilized. How do you say, Professor?
Yeah. Danny, can you help me? I get because
Yeah.
a little bit low, volume was a little bit low.
In here, your volume is a little bit low. Can you get straight to the point your questions, Mr. Hendrik?
The first one was AI. You say something. Can you increase the volume? I don't know. maximum.
Okay, I will repeat again my question. What about my sound? Is it okay or not?
Yeah, but little bit low here.
But if anyone understand, do you understand? And then let me know.
Okay, I will repeat again. Repeat again, yes. Do you believe algorithm and AI will become our new god for human civilization because there are many community replace traditional god with AI? How do you say? And second question, whether digital life will make it more civilized or even less civilized for our human civilization. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So you mean the AI algorithm?
AI and algorithm.
Yeah, so I think AI, anyway, our algorithm or AI will be changing the functions more and more. We are still in the just very beginning. So, but it's a similar to languages or mirror. Our language is good for us or not? In terms of communication, it's a good. It's better than not better than, than not having it, right? It can express. But the problem is then AI definitely having AI better than not having AI. Because you can describe more concept as your intelligence. But now the question is then, will AI replace some of our, the work and no, it's mirror, I say. If there's no human, no language needed. At the same time, it cannot replace human or humanity of thinking the AI. AI is our mirror. Mirror don't play if there's no person is using it. For the same way, if the AI. So we need to treat, like a AI in a way that like a tool and to manage. But our society is not ready to do it, and generally, currently, individually, and very fast. So there's a level that we need to improve our literacy of AI, how to manage it. So that's my comment for the first question. Digital life, it is also not the question of civilized, more civilized, uncivilized. Digital life comes to our life. Digital allows us to record and save our information more in cheap way. And if we have a more information, definitely I have a more, capability to manage it. For example, if you don't have a data, how do you make a decision? For that reason, digital is not an option. This is not a matter of more civilized and not civilized. Everyone should have a digital in a way to store your information, to manage your data and manage your life. I want to show the scientific meaning of the data. In real, data means philosophically, originally, it means fact. Fact is incidents or something that in reality happened, right? Fact. So the data doesn't reflect or related to the fact, and it's just imaginary. So in terms of the digital allow us to create such fact in a manageable way, and then that's why we need to digitalize. So if you don't have a digital capability, like you are living in a village without the road. If you don't have a road, it takes much longer time to go to another place. Definitely you will spend all of your life on the road. That's, like what we do not want to, use our time in an efficient way. Definitely digital is, the thing. But that does not mean that digital replace our effort or real. But we need to use it as our kind of clothing. We need a clothing. Anyway, digital is similar to that. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
thank
thank
you,
you
Professor.
for explanation, sir. Professor, thank you.
Thank you very much for your also kind question.
Yes,
So
yes.
go back to our rooms. We still have the question or not in here? Yeah. We received two professor in here. Do you want to choose or select?
Oh.
Okay. The one first. Please state your name and affiliations.
Everyone and Professor, and my name is Aldea Salvita, an undergraduate student in Pamulang University. Thank you for your insightful presentation. I have one short question for Professor. Based on the points that you shared on presentation, I start thinking about the future of student in AI era. Many students in my generation are both exciting and worried about artificial intelligence, especially regarding our future careers. As AI become increasingly capable, which human skills do you think will become more valuable rather than less? Thank you.
But can you more closer to the microphone because it's not quite clear here?
Okay.
Mm, mm.
You didn't know.
Langsung, based on the points that you share in presentation, I start thinking about the future role of student in the AI era. Many students in my generation are both exciting and worried about artificial intelligence, especially regarding our future careers. As AI becomes increasingly capable, which human skill do you think will become more valuable rather than less? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the point, I think he worried about the AI can replace our jobs and then our main activities. And then kind of now is focusing about the image generated is really massive. And then they're worried about that. Is it correct?
Yeah, correct. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's already a lot of fear that AI will replace the job. Yes, AI replace the jobs, but that does not mean AI replace human. Humans are not defined by only job. Okay, so don't think about that. You are, like human create the job, and human is the one that not defined by the job. So when there's a no job, or because of the technology does, definitely then human need to create another job. Yeah? So don't think that job is the one that you will be hired. I mean, for example, with the AI, 5 people used to do, 1 people now can do. And with the idea, you can create the code. With the idea, you can make a website. With the idea is that with your experience, you can also search some of the, report. So, I mean that one human capability, can be strengthened in some point, as long as you have a unique originality and talent. Okay, and other step and supporting or initial level will be definitely replaced. So what it means, you undergraduate need to aim for that you come to the society with the scene that you have a job creation skill. You can create the ideas and job, and then also self-define, and you already called a professional on it. How to make it? You become an expert of the AI, or you become an expert of using AI. I don't ask you to develop the AI because there are a lot of development has been spent. And a lot of these algorithms, there are more algorithms than what we need. We don't need to invent more algorithms. But which algorithm to use, AI will define. For that reason, you don't need to rerun all those algorithms. So for that reason, but still there's an idea what kind of function needed for real problem, this idea of human job needed. So you need to think as an owner, you need to think as an original inventor, and to aim for that, I'm going to use it without too many company, but you still have your own capability. Individual now need for your happiness, for your self-definition, you should be not only a job definer, you should be also artist, you should be a choose of your life in many. I think definitely you will be given more freedom, and you need to use those, freedom not only for only job or money. Your improved productivity should let you to travel and also have your own, time of your freedom to do research. I think that is I believe, a lot of our undergraduate or education system now kind of, brainwashed you to be hired. No. If society is not giving a job, you have to create a job. Yeah. You need to be brave enough. At some moment, you will be old like me and 60 years old. How to make your time on that time is up to you. But you will not be unique if you don't select your job by yourself. So don't complain that technology or AI replace job. That's great. You got to be on top of it or using it. We are expecting that a lot of your undergraduate with the capability of the research. Without creative thinking, you cannot use AI. Who can use well prompt is creative thinking. Who use a lot of vocabulary, who knows a lot of how to describe your problem, are the one who use AI well, right? But still for the chemical engineering, if you don't know the real concept, you cannot describe. Then you cannot use AI for the chemical engineering, right? So I hope you think a little bit in transformative way. Don't chase for the job that will be replaced by robot or after you pass your time of 20 or 30 years, get older, your learning capability loosen, at that time you cannot catch up. Like, we are getting slower learning capability having new technology. That's why. Don't waste your time of doing just same job in the time period where you can learn new things. Yeah? All these steps in hotel will be replaced by robot. All these reservation system will be replaced. All the manager, all the... I hope this is not the problem of government. It is not a problem of businessman. It's okay for them to use the technology to replace a job. But we, young generation of people, we who are coming to the society, if there's no job, then you create a job. That's all what we do. We were poor. A lot of your ancestors were the one who built the company, right? From nothing. But why you are not doing it? Why all our generation are asking for the job that given by your parents group? Is that really your job? Time is changing. I think MZ generation want to claim that this age is yours. You need to define your job. If you are inherited and also serving the job we define, you are not free from us. Yeah. MZ generation, Alpha generation are not free from X generation before. If you are eating the job that what we give, because you are not the inventor of the job. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It means that AI is supposed to be to support for tools, while the creativity and original idea remains our responsibility. It's all right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm looking the Q&A. So the first Q&A question is, thank you, Professor Huang. Could you share one example of digital service in Korea that you think is really helpful for ordinary people and why? Well, I think really our e-government is very advanced. Most of our documents I don't need to go to, and my tax, everything, and our banking system, no one goes bank anymore. I mean, just all on internet. So, generally, internet service and app related to a lot of services are created by app now, and also for that reason, Korean people, we cannot think about being that without digital service. If our portal or internet, a lot of things now may be broken, we will have a problem. I mean, a lot of complaint, right? A lot of complaint because, we reduce the physical space. The banking system, because of that, the number of banks in the society will reduce. So those are turning to the real. So I will say that a lot of convenience on the government services, public services, and also financial services. And well, I think the education is generally like we are aiming for the smartphone, online educations. But also transportation, everyone say that we have a very, very e-mobility capability of using the, and for everyone. So transportation system in Korea very well tied with the digital system. Maybe Danny knows some other services well. And for the second question, it's in Indonesian, right?
This is the Indonesians. Okay. I tried to summary for you. So for the second questions, he want to ask about the concept about the human-centered transformations, how the institution can make a balance between the easiness for the data access or interoperability and with the protection of the data privacy for the citizens, professors. And the second ones, and then how the regulation or the standard operating procedures in our institution can be adapted with the technology more quick, and then the regulation is not can be block the services innovation, professor.
Yeah. So interpretation of the human-centered transformation. Well, I think very human-centered is kind of, if you don't define that the humanity in your organization, it's very difficult to interpret, right? But so then, for example, BRIN, who is the owner? Such ownership, creating a role, right? And also creativity, maybe the researcher's idea into the project are not just only top down by only money. So probably such kind of organization culture, probably strengthening individual capability. When we say human-centered, means not just protecting human, strengthening the humanity, your intelligent capability, your right as a researcher. You are not discriminated by ages or senior group or class, but you are still strengthened by your ability of dealing with innovation. So how we make more fair and also more open for all the talent. I mean, if you are very satisfactory about BRIN, that means BRIN provide you freedom to exercise your potential, right? But if you are not happy about BRIN, then probably you don't have a freedom to exercise your best strengths. Are you using your strengths advantage, right? Some of you are very fast runner, right? Running. such kind of capability are you using in your job or in your position? These are the very important capability. Let the organization think to create such kind of culture and human centered, so that that we are actually managing and owning capability and on the organization where we belong. So, and the second thing for the technology adoption, right?
Yeah.
In the organization, right?
Right.
In the institution, as I mentioned that leadership still play very important role in the beginning decision. But this is not only if it is these two leaders are actually providing the path of vision, then there should be a kind of the great support, right, for adopting your members of the organization to adopt to use that technology. How to create the motivation of using it? For example, I say AI. Okay. I don't know what is the rule in BRIN about using AI, but I think we need to encourage, but also we need to also have a certain rule, right, of proper use of AI, not slowing down our capability, your creativity, or passion, and resilience. Do you think a PhD will be easier when we have AI? I don't think so. We are going to ask very high level of different intelligence than writing thesis or journal. Okay? And then definitely that proof is not easier. So, and now intelligence will not be defined by the paper or patent, only idea. Our intelligence will be defined by our real capability, whether you can do it or not. Okay? If you are the engineer, you should be able to make it from the 0 to 1 to perfect. How many of you can really make a small car by yourself if you are the mechanical engineer? You should be able to do it if you learn it. If you have done automotive engineering, it's just money, but if you should be able to create. If you are the computer engineer, you should be able to make a motherboard of the PC, how to design, where to buy, and how to make, what technology. If not, you cannot survive in the AI society. So in an AI society, we are looking for the engineer we need a solution. The institution need to motivate, inspire the one. So it's a very real challenge, but the problem is that in 10 years, if you don't do now, whole society will change. A lot of people in America, a lot of people in Korea, a lot of people in other part of the world, they already changed. Then you don't have the capability. Okay? There are a lot of self-adoption going on. I think it's very important. If you see the people that they are not changing, so just you don't change. You have to look how differently people are doing. Yeah. So I open innovation in the institution for the technology sometimes help, because you see how they use the technology, so you improve the way of adoption. And the last one, digital public service, we need our personal data, but many people are still worried about their data issues. Citizens in Korea willing to trust their government with their digital. No, we don't trust anyone. So for that reason, we need to improve the law. Law is, as long as you are protected by law or you have a capability to access the law, right? As a citizen, then we can improve. But you need to create the democracy that no one is above law. Yeah. Then citizen, our voice through the politics become great and law. It takes time, but that under law, everyone's saying. But problem is democracy. Some is above law, some is not, and someone can change the data, someone cannot. Then, so this fairness of the social system But I still believe the law is very important. We need to improve our legal system to adopt all these digital changes. For example, how much of our justice or court or election or politics are electronic this time? Not yet. Right? Because we don't trust each other. But I think if we start to trust, not to trust each other, always we cannot do anything. So we better trust, right? By improve the level of the trust level so that we can use data, that's easier. Trusting is better than not trusting. How uncomfortable it is if you don't trust your partner in your office. Yeah? Are you happy? No. Same way. If I don't trust my government always, I'm not happy. So, but our goal is improving trust level by sharing all these data environment. Data is like a air. Data is like a water. These air, good air, then good. But these data, water, air are polluted, not good. So in that way, we need to improve the quality of the data and quality of the managing the data, with the mutual, powers. Citizen, government, same. If I don't respect the government, how my citizenship can be protected? In the same way, I believe the government is a social organization that human created to run the nation. And for that reason, we still need an effort to improve it. Because some of you will be in the government. Some of you and some of. Definitely. So I think that the main challenge is how to improve the trust level. And also there should be a lot of effort to improve the use of the data so that we can share the data. Open data, sharing data is better. Right? Yeah. Thank you.
So the next one, Professor.
Yeah, I think there's another question.
Yes, another question, Professor.
So more question. How much time do we have? Yeah.
We still have 10 minutes.
Oh,
10 minutes?
What time is it?
11:30 now.
Oh,
No, it's 11:30.
so we have a
Time.
10, okay, yeah. Mr. Taufik Iqbal, I greatly appreciate the perspective you shared in your presentation. Strongly human-centered approach can be challenging when substantial human declaration creates the opportunity for political greater automation, data-driven. And Indonesia's proposed white paper on the trustworthy AI. How can the government design an approach to remain human-centered in its value in the minimizing this way human intervention through transparent automation, independent oversight, real accountable mechanism? Wow, very long questions, but everything. So it is asking how the government can design the approach as a human center. I believe government need to play as a real government. What is real government? Protecting the public value. What is public value? There are a lot of public role that, for example, education, medical, environment, housing, food, right? And security. So I believe still government emphasize that we receive the tax from the citizen, right? And these need to be used for the kind of transformative way of solving education, or then government need to government cannot do everything, right? Create maybe law and also initial model support, right? And also helping the business to provide the solution. So the institution like a BRIN is very important. Government design the total ecosystem of changes through the innovation system. So like a BRIN institution is very important organization as like a crystal to change the environment, right, or innovation system. So in that way, the kind of innovation institution which orchestrate a lot of partnership, right, real project, idea to real and practice. Definitely, BRIN is extension of the government, right? Definitely. But I think people think government is only just president office or Congress. No. I mean, there's an extension of the area. So these kind of coordination and governance, innovation system, I think so government should think about this generative innovation system, which I say, global, national, regional coordination that need to be done from the beginning. Government thought in the beginning, global will be done by only central government or foreign diplomacy. No, I think our local sector, right, our regional individual should be strengthened by that. So, and also national innovation system need to be integrated regionally. So I believe, these kind of generative innovation system design should be done by government so that the innovation capability and data and knowledge flow each other to make a real impact. So I think I answered to the question. I answered to the question that was reserved by Iqbal.
Yeah.
And KPPID, DDI. So what about personal data security? Remember, every time we use curriculum, we always ask to provide person. Yes, definitely. This is all about what I say, the trust. I feel that my phone is listening to me because by some algorithm, they actually bring the idea of what I say yesterday. So I don't know how, but somehow, but then should I not use it? And no. So, but should I worry about it too much? Well, if I did something wrong, I should be worried about it. But if I believe what I do could be good to be known, why you worry about your data? If you're okay to be known, how can I make my life known? And also, how don't I possess my life? I mean, this is different level of maturity, different level of openness, but we need to move on to the stage there where some part of your openness is good, right? And just only brainstorm to think that one part. Yeah. Some part need to be how to manage is important. So definitely there's no perfect security. There's no perfect privacy. I never seen that society who always say privacy the best. I never see those people society are happy. In family, you don't have a privacy. There's sometimes you have more people to share the data, personal data. You have more people to think about that your own yourself. No privacy, better ummah. So in ummah, I believe the holy community of that the real community like a family. Definitely, we need to manage it better. So I believe but technology matters. So I do not want to go beyond too much of worrisome definitely these are something we need to manage carefully, right? So the third one is what stakeholders hold the primary responsibility to kickstart smart education, government, academic institution, or society. Smart education by education institute, governance by government, academy by education cannot be the kickoff by government, right? If there's no voluntary, I always say, don't look for the money first, for the smartness. There are a lot of smart civilization, smart city development by ourselves without receiving the funding. So everyone seeks that, oh, if you want to do smart or digital, we need the funding. No. That's our talent, our time. As long as there are people, talent, we can do it. So I believe, it's a social, commitment. How much of our, how good your society is strengthened by that. I believe my GRC and our step, our, kind of Congress, has a very strong commitment about the value system. I also do without money in that way. I believe this kind of voluntary transformation by the organization as a kickoff step. So I sometimes talk to the students, smart civilization start from the class, right? So no, don't think about that. You will be learning from outside, but if you don't do, another example, sustainability. If you don't make yourself sustainable, how are you expecting sustainability from the environment or nation? How many of you are managing your health and your intelligence sustainable? In order to manage your sustainability, how do you know about yourself? How much do we keep our health data? How much do we keep our spiritual happiness? How much do we keep our intelligence? How much is strong, especially young, are you? I think these are all related to sustainability. There is no meaning of thinking of that when, how can we as for the sustainability from the society? So I think this is very important in the civilization. Why do many successful technology transformation initiated in one region fail to scale, replicating the daring? I think this is because you are just based on the condition, not original use of it. I say project funded by the central federal government, region, receive it, once cut, don't do it. I don't think it should be in that way. Smart city doesn't start with the funding. Smart cities start with education and civilization. So education doesn't need the money from the beginning. Your creativity doesn't need money from it. But it's a need, a commitment, culture, and effort. Is it a good society if the education need the money? Not good society. We should be able to create a society where the education can be done even without money, as long as our senior intelligence are mature enough to give a lesson. Our school and our education can be done. Why you teach the people with the money? If they are old people, think about it. I don't believe it. But how many of us are using it in that way? I think that's why we need a transformation. That's why all these projects fail. In the beginning, politicians, government made, right, as a kind of advertisement, strong leadership on that one. But that's not always. If your citizen really cannot make by yourself. So sometimes easier development is not good. It's like children or young men having a lot of money from your parents. Then you don't have a capability to make money, to create from money from nothing. I see a lot of young and failed education because of easy inheritance or the money access to the young generation who need to work hard and know and have a difficulty. By doing so, you become very sustainable and resilient to understand yourself. human and human society does not confront the difficulty and risk, we don't understand ourselves. That is very important identity of humanity. What humanity makes holy is human has been having these difficult but always try to question to us. And we improve our identity better by understanding. Now this is the time that our new millennial, the Alpha generation, try to create our human identity by reflecting ourselves and to see and how these can be continued without support from the government. I believe all this can be done if we have a great young generation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. So, because the time limitations, so I think we will close our session for the discussions. So thank you very much for all participants and all attendees in the Zoom and YouTube as well. So before we close the sessions, I will conclude our webinar sessions. So first is digital transformation should be measured not only by adoption or efficiency, but by its effect on people, their dignity, access, trust, participation, and well-being. And the second, AI and smart city development require the human capability, institutional readiness, responsible governance, and meaningful measures of impact. And then third is collaboration is matters. Today is not only a webinar, it is a bridge between our research center for data and information science and SNU Global R&D centers for future works in digital governments, smart city frameworks, data-driven urban management, knowledge exchange, joint research, academic activities, and publications. So on behalf of the committee, I express our sincere appreciation to Professor Junseok Hwang for sharing his knowledge and experience with us. So please give applause for Professor Hwang. So now, hand the program back to our host, Ms. Tanti. Thank you.
We would like to express our sincere gratitude to our moderator, Mr. Dani Pembudi, for leading such engaging and interactive discussion today. And we also extend our sincere appreciation to Prof. Junseok Hwang for sharing his valuable insight and expertise with us today. And let me replay Pak Dani's pantun first. Jangan lupa catatnya Bapak Ibu. Ke Bandung cari batagor.
Cakep.
Sekalian cari spon. Terima kasih ya Pak Dani sebagai moderator
Cakep.
yang telah memandu webinar ini.
Cakep.
And we are pleased to invite Prof. Esa Prakasa to present the token of appreciation to Dr. Dani as the moderator and Prof. Junseok Hwang as the speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this webinar, we would like to invite Prof. Esa Prakasa, the Head of Research Center for Data and Information Sciences BRIN, to deliver his closing remarks. To Prof. Esa, the time is yours.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Tanti. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and warm greeting to all of us. Distinguished Prof. Jung Suk Hwang, the Director of Seoul National University, Global R&D Center, our impressive keynote speaker today. And then distinguished Professor Dr. Eng Budi Prawara, the Chairman of the Research Organization for Electronics and Informatics BRIN, and also distinguished Professor Andari Graitandaru, the leader of Digital Government Research Group at BRIN, and also distinguished researchers, colleagues, members of the Digital Government Research Group, invited guests, participants here at KST Samaun Samadikun, and all participants joining us online through Zoom and YouTube BRIN Indonesia. First of all, please allow me to express my sincere appreciation to Prof. Jung Suk Hwang for the excellent presentation on digitalogy toward human-centered transformation. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, experience, and new perspective with us. Your presentation has given us a clear reminder that digital transformation is not simply a technical agenda, but it also a human, institutional, social, and government agendas. I would like also to thank our moderator, Dr. Denny Pambudi, for guiding the session and discussion today. And also my appreciation also goes to the organizing committee, the secretariat, the public relations office, and also the Digital Government Research Group, and all colleagues from RSDI and ORE, who have supported the preparation of this webinar. Today's discussion has been very relevant for the Research Center for Data Information Sciences. As a research center, PRSDA works at the intersection of data, information, digital system, human interaction, and public value. We are concerned not only with how the data is collected, processed, modeled, and visualized, but also how the data can support better decision, better services, and also better experiences for all of the people. From Prof. Hwang's presentation, there are several important messages that can take forward. Firstly, AI, artificial intelligence, and digital technologies are creating numerous opportunities. They can help the institution to analyze the complex problems, to improve services, and also to support innovation and provide respond faster to public needs. And also at the same time, they also can create new challenges. This include the skill gaps, organizational readiness, governance capacity, data quality, trust, inclusion, and the ability to measure the real impact. Secondly, the digital transformation should be understood as a transformation, not merely on digitalization. Digitalization can move a process from, or can change the process from paper to screen. Transformation asks deeper questions. Thus, the new system can improve the way people live, work, participate, to learn, and to receive services. This is a crucial distinction for digital government research. Thirdly, smart cities and digital government must be designed around the people. A city is not smart only because it has sensor, dashboard, platforms, or data centers. A public service is not successful only because it's available online, but also we need to ask whether people can use it, whether it can accessible, whether it builds trust, whether it reduces inequality, and whether it can improve the quality of the public decision making. And then the fourth is open innovation and global cooperation are very essential, because the digital transformation cannot be solved by one research center, one institution, or one country alone. It, as Prof mentions, during his presentation, this process requires collaboration, among the academia, government, industry, communities, and also world. It also requires willingness, to share the knowledge, to that knowledge share to share the data, test ideas, and learn from the different contexts and translate our research result into the practical benefits. This message closely aligned with the research agenda of our research center, PRSDI or PRSDI. I work in data science, information sciences, digital government, human computer interaction, visualization, information retrieval, natural language processing, knowledge and data engineering, and so on the data-driven urban management. All of this area should contribute to a more inclusive and more accountable digital transformation. And then for PRSDI, this is not only a research topic, it is a responsibility, as part of BRIN Research Center. We must ensure that our research contributes to national needs and public benefits. Digital government research should have public institution design services that are evidence-based, inclusive, secure, usable, and trusted. Smart city research should be help cities and regions make better decision based on the data, while still respecting the diversity of citizen and also the culture aspect of the local people. Today's webinar is therefore an important step. It has opened space for scientific dialogue between PRSDI BRIN and Seoul National University Global R&D Center. It has also helped us to connect the idea of the human-centered transformation with concentrate areas of cooperation, including the digital government research, smart city frameworks, data-driven urban management, and digital convergence. In this context, the letter of intent between PRSDI, BRIN, and Seoul National University Global R&D Center becomes very meaningful. This LOI will provide an initial framework for both parties to explore and develop collaborative initiative. The LOI also can identify the area such as knowledge exchange among the researchers and experts, joint research collaboration, dissemination, technology transfer, and then academic events, joint publication, and other activities that may be agreed upon in writing by both parties. And then we should see this LOI as a beginning. The value of an LOI is not only in the document itself, but its real value will be seen in the follow-up. Maybe after this signing ceremony, we can make or we can prepare next step to realize of this collaboration. After today, we should work together to identify concrete activities that can be developed. This may include joint seminar, research discussion, and any kind of the research activities. And we can propose the collaboration to be worked on several areas such as digital governance, smart city, and human-centered digital transformation. I hope that PRSDI BRIN and SNU GRC can build a partnership based on equality, openness, multi-respect, and mutual benefit as reflected in the LOI. I also hope that this cooperation can connect Indonesian and Korean research strength in ways that are academically strong, practically useful, and beneficial for the society. To Prof. Jung Suk Huang and colleagues from Seoul National University, Global and DB centers, thank you again for us to continue communication and concrete follow-up after this event. And also to Prof. Dr. Budi and to Professor Dr. Eng Budi Prawara and colleagues at ORE, thank you for your support and leadership to the Digital Government Research Group and all PRSDA colleges. Let us today's discussion as motivation to strengthen our research quality, sharpen our collaboration agenda, and produce output that support BRIN's contribution to the country. To all participants, thank you once again for your attention, question, feedback, and all of the participation. I hope the ideas said today will not stop in this room or in this webinar only. I hope they will continue in our research, in our projects, in our publication, and in our future collaboration. With gratitude, by saying Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, I formally close the webinar session of DESAIN 7, Digitalogy toward human-centered transformation. We will now continue to the next agenda, the preparation and signing of the letter of intent in PRSDI BRIN and Seoul National University. Once again, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to announce our lucky participants. For 2 lucky online participants are Yudi Kristanto and Muhammad Ardana Sidik Fadli. And for offline participants, Ibu Kokoy Siti Komariah and Kalisa. Congratulations for all lucky participants. And for online lucky participant, please send us a direct message to our Instagram account, prsdi.brin, to claim the prize. And our team will provide you with the next step. On behalf of the organizing committee, we sincerely thank you for all participants for your active participation today. And we wish you have a wonderful day ahead, and we look forward to welcome you again at our next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bapak Ibu,